should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Happy Sunday! Happy International Women's Day! Happy all the things. We're catching up. You guys might be surprised to see us on a Sunday, but we are catching up on all things before the 90 days. Season 8, episode 6. Pressure is rising. All I know, Abby, is that as I was thinking about International Women's Day and I was watching this episode, I just it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a whole lot.
Listen, advocating for women to have choice means that some women are going to make dumb choices.
Facts. That's it.
And they have to be able to do that, have the freedom to do that. So here we are.
Here we are. That being said, we're jumping right in because there are so many couples this episode. Lisa and Daniel. Listen, you guys, speaking of dumb choices, they are making a specific choice the way they're filming and editing these two. And I don't need all of it. That's all I'm saying. I don't need all of it. I got it. I get it. I got it. So we left off with Daniel proposing to Lisa, will you marry me? And literally my note says OMG. In the first 10 minutes, she's barely wiped off with the wet wipes all her spots, and she is saying yes to a proposal when she promised her daughter that she was gonna tell all her secrets that Daniel doesn't know. And what are those secrets, are you guys asking? She's still married to a woman. She's married 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay. And she hasn't been with a man in the last 21 years. But, oh, yes, I'll marry you. And here's the thing, you guys. She has these exact same thoughts flowing through her head. So he proposes. In her mind, she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. She waited 30 seconds and she's like, yes, baby. Like, okay. They celebrate with dance, traditional African dance and music. And then these are my notes. So I'm just going to say them. Ugh, the constant gross kissing is just, it's too much for me. He goes on to say that he's planned this proposal for the last 6 months. So from day one, when they started interneting, he's like, I'm coming to America. I am coming. I am getting my green card. I will get all of the monies for a ring. Oh my God. Shout out to the live chat. Hey, Becca, Kimberly, and Devin. We see, Kimberly all happy. And who's even more happier is Daniel's uncle and Daniel. And if this picture is not worth a million words, I don't know what is. Because the simple fact that I am looking at two people smiling, not about getting engaged necessarily, about the fact that this fool said he dreamt that he was going to be going to America and getting a green card, and lo and behold, here's the woman that's about to make that happen. That's why everyone's smiling from ear to ear.
This picture is like the Spider-Man meme where all the Spider-Mans are all pointing to each other because they're like all scamming each other.
Exactly. He calls Lisa his God-given gift that he has been preyed on. And, I know a lot of you are spiritual. It's Sunday. I did church, I did the whole thing today, and I said, how dare she bring God into this? How dare he bring God into this and say God said this is your God-given gift, and that, oh yeah, you prayed that you were going to, on your mom's best wishes, that you were going to marry a white woman from America. Like, just stop it. Just
He
stop it.
said, the good Lord works in mysterious ways.
So between the uncle, these flowers, the kissing, the proposal, you all, like I said, whoever is editing this, the producers, this first like 10 minutes was a lot. There was a lot going on. You see that person in the background with the hand up waving? That is like, God, if he can do it, I can do it.
I just know that when Daniel told the producers that he was having dancers and singing, they probably were like, oh, yes.
Fact.
Yes.
Becca says, LOL, we can all verify that Daniel is mouth to mouth certified after this episode. 100%. Ugh. So Lisa goes on to say that, you know, she still needs to tell him everything. And then again, my second note, and I know I just said, but this gross kissing, please make it stop. That is my note. Because it didn't stop. It didn't stop at the airport, Abby. It started again in the car or the ride share or the taxi, whatever you want to call it. It was just like, just make it stop.
We're just in both of their mouths. Ugh.
See? Exactly. Ugh. Okay, so.
And I don't even feel like I would feel differently if they were more attractive. I think this type of intense tongue and throat kissing is just gross to watch.
Yeah. And I guess like my notes for them is not that long, but I will tell you, it says, the constant gross kissing. This gross kissing. Please stop. This kissing is grossing me all the way out. He goes on to say the reason why he's kissing her that way is he can't resist her. And then he said something interesting. He wanted to call her daughter Faith to let Faith know about the engagement, and Lisa said no, because Lisa is a liar McLiar, because then she's going to have to face her grown daughter who already has insecurities, already has trauma from this woman, as we've seen in the first few episodes. And then, you know, she's going to have to say, hey, I lied to you. I did tell you I was not going to get proposed to and accept the proposal on this trip. I did tell you that I would tell him all my secrets before he even decided to propose. And lo and behold, she didn't hold on to any of the things. But I think we already knew that about her. I think.
Absolutely. And I feel like Faith knew it too, because she hesitated before she even answered the question when Faith made that request.
Exactly.
She is incapable of caring about her daughter's feelings. In her whole life, she's shown dragging her daughter through one marriage to another, and from all the different schools she went to, she's just incapable of prioritizing her daughter, Faith.
Agreed.
Sadly.
Agreed. And it is sad. So they get to the hotel. I just want to throw it out there that I really feel like production, yes, they're back to the basics and they're back to like great TV, but they're also skimping on the amenities. I keep seeing these hotels like, you guys could have chose anything, and this is okay, that's fine, but don't try to tell the Americans that these are like amazing super hotels, and then people then now get stereotypes about what they think is amazing when they travel abroad, because this isn't it. This is not it.
No, I think we're looking at what Lisa truly could afford.
That part. That part. So keep that in mind, y'all. And the thing that got me, now that you talk about Abby, things that she could afford, she pulls out a whole carry-on full of stuff that she bought him. She got him a gold bracelet. She got him a ring that she puts on his engagement ring finger, condoms, the whole 9 yards, and oils. I was like, oh, what? But I mean, I guess okay. That's your fiance, I suppose. He tells her he's tired, which I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, amen. If we're bringing God into this, amen. Amen. The Lord has also heard my prayers. I don't have to see any more of this disgusting, gross kissing. He's like, I'm going to go take a shower. He goes to take a shower and comes back, and she wants to like get jiggy with it. He's like, oh, you know what? Let's just go to sleep. We're both tired. We'll do something tomorrow. And I literally laughed out loud. And she is starting to feel insecure. She's like, is this him being tired, or is he not interested in me? And she is like, you know, I've been putting a lot on this. It's been 21 years since I've been with a man. She starts panicking. She wants to, quote unquote, get it over with. And I was like, that's just really not it. Like, none of this is it at all. And you probably should have thought about all of this before you accepted his proposal. That being said, the other thing, Abby, that just tore me apart, as most of you guys know, and this just attests to that. Whatever you feel about Daniel, either way, guess what? Guess what Daniel did? Daniel didn't even travel. He traveled from his home city, right, to meet her. Went to the airport. First thing Daniel does, takes a shower. Okay, doesn't sit on the bed with his dirty outside self. He takes a shower. He cleans up. What does Lisa do? The new baby girl, Lisa. She goes in the bathroom. She's been traveling for at least 30 hours, y'all. Doesn't shower, just changes into some lingerie, and then jumps into the bed.
She felt like that wash up in the sink was sufficient, which is, I mean, listen, I've said this before, you guys. It correlates to the two Americas difference in cleanliness. There is one America who feels like taking a swim in a river is a wash for the day, and there's a separate America that doesn't feel that way and uses washcloths. Two Americas. There's an America that washes our legs. There's America that doesn't. Okay?
I can't say anything else. He just says, let's go to sleep. And I'm not mad at him. She feels rejected, but I would also feel grossed out that, you know, you didn't shower.
Yeah. Yeah, this would have been a time we need to call in, oh, what's his name? Not Brandon, what's his name? Greta and whoever Greta was with, the you stink guy who was telling Greta you stink 3 times.
Oh yeah, her man.
Call him in and be like, Lisa, you stink.
That part. That part. Becca's in on it with you.
Becca's over here on this America.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you want anything else before I move on from these two?
I do want to say something else.
Okay,
I do want to say something else.
Something.
Two things, actually.
I'm listening.
I need to send you a copy. I need to send you the picture of my washcloth from my first day out in India. You guys, I just got back from India a week ago. And my first day out in the streets, I came back and washed my feet because they were so dirty from the excursion of the day. And I could not believe how filthy my washcloth was. Even after I washed, I rinsed it out and soaped it by itself and washed my feet one more time. And it was the most disgusting thing that I could think of. Like the idea that people are just like getting in their beds
Oh,
with their
God.
feet from the day, like so gross. Okay, the other thing I want to say is Laura, Lisa in this season, and then in seasons past, we've seen this happen with other people too. Why are y'all carrying on long distance relationships using filters?
Oh, we talked about this last episode.
Did we? And I completely forgot.
Well, I talked about it. You probably zoned out because I do talk a lot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought about it more watching this episode because they're doing all this disgusting kissing, but the moment he's like, oh, okay, let's go to sleep. All that disgusting kissing is negated because she's insecure about using all those filters.
The filters and the lighting and all the things. Yeah, agreed. And I did say this in the other episode, but it does bear repeating. Did we not learn anything from Rebecca and Ziad?
Oh, dang it, you did say that. Because now that you're saying Rebecca and Ziad, I was like, yup. Yep.
Y'all, she tunes me out, but it's okay.
No.
My friend tells me that I talk. A lot of people tell me I talk a lot, including my mama, who I love dearly. So it's okay. I
do listen to you. Sorry, that one just slipped my mind. I'm still working on getting back in this time zone, y'all. Forgive me. That's why I was asleep. You know?
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Let's go. I'm ready. You ready? Are you ready?
Hashtag washcloth game. Yes, I am. All right, we're moving on to Lisa and Beer Can. Beer Can. And here's what my notes said. And for those of you guys that watch us regularly and know Abby and I, you know a little bit about us. And so you can imagine on Sunday, International Women's Day, I start off with Lisa and Daniel, and obviously I had some things go on. But then I had to go into Lisa and Beer Can, and right off the bat, it's right into a cat on some random's shoulder. My note says, no, I'm not ready for all of this. How are you bringing me disgusting, and then meow. Oh, God.
I mean, that is very much Turkey. So I wonder, I feel like my visit to Turkey was so wonderful. It was a great solo trip. But I wonder how much you would be able to enjoy it because the cats are literally everywhere. And everyone is being nice to them. Like you would look out of place shooing a cat.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard pass for me. That's just not what I like. It's not what I enjoy. I wouldn't even shoo them. I would just be like, stay the F away from me, because no. And they're wild and feral and just roaming the streets. Do you not have
They are. They're in the restaurants. They're in the shops. They're in the hotels.
Where people eat?
Yes. There's not a single place where I sat down to eat. Well, I didn't go to any super fancy meals, but the places where I went to eat, all of them had cats. Yeah. Becca.
The cats in Istanbul are infamous, is what Becca is saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you. That's just me. Just no, thank you. We see Lisa and Beer Can in bed. So he's moved from the couch, clearly. They bonded over their night or day before where they were at the doctor's office. He's, quote, on the clouds, and outside he's wasted. I died of laughter because, as you guys know, I am terrible with sayings, but I really understood what he meant. I was like, I actually like that. We should incorporate that. Because you know what?
Of course we would.
Yeah, I love it. We're on the clouds. We're on the clouds, but I'm also wasted. Lisa goes on to say that Birkin has made her feel beautiful and really supported, especially after really being vulnerable yesterday. And they came home, they had multiple sexy time. And she says, her words, that the sexual chemistry was great. And, you know, what she said is true. You have to learn a person's preferences. She feels he's, quote, vanilla and she's spice. And he tries to preference that by saying that he hasn't had sexy time in 4 years. And which was like, okay, it could be that you didn't have sexy time in 4 years, but it also could be she's 47. She knows herself. She knows her body. And as you get older, you really do, as women, and on International Women's Day, you come into your own. You learn your body. You learn to accept yourself. You learn to like what you like and what you don't like, and what you want and what you don't not want. And hopefully, by the time you hit 40, you can verbalize to your partner what makes you happy. And I think that that's in the space that she's in. You know, she's lost this weight. She's learning who she is. All of that. And I also think part of it too is Birkin is 26 years old. I mean, I don't care. He's got I don't care. All I know, it's 26. 26, yes, they have vitality because they're young and they have the energy, but that doesn't necessarily equate to skill and mastery. Got so vanilla,
right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, well, you know, I might be vanilla, but my truck still works. And then she goes on to say that he is blessed down there. And I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Abby,
well, I'm willing to believe that in her world, he is blessed. In her perception of that, I'm willing to believe it.
Abby, you are on a roll today. I could not. You are on a roll today. You're on a roll
Two
today.
Americas.
Okay.
I will say, am I going to expose as much about myself? Yes, I'll expose as much about myself. I will say, in my experience, she's calling him vanilla, but in my limited experience, limited sample, I do think that foreign men are better at non-penetration activity than American men. So sometimes, you know, that can balance out what feels like blessed. I think that's as much as I can do on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's as much as you could do. And I'm sure you're right. I don't, yeah, no, it's going to be a pass for me. You're going to need to be magical in all the ways. You can't, when someone is extra blessed, in the way that you're saying, it tells me that they are going to be trash in the other way. And I am not, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. because that can only suffice for so long. Don't waste my time. I already told you one major thing about me. I will get up and walk away. And
I listened to that story and I remember it.
Abby. Yes, because the first thing I've told you guys about myself outside of okay, the other thing that I really enjoyed was they were in Lagora, which was like an old town. And my note says I love it. I love the dance part. I love the history. I love the food part. So he, meaning Beer Can, explained this Sophie. Oh, look, I'm pointing. Oh, it does work. Okay, so Sophie Islam, which is a meditating dance. And when you have your hand up and one down, the one up is getting something from God. And then the one down is, don't tell me, is giving it back to the earth. And I just like that. That's what we want. When they go abroad,
Yes.
what we want. We want the history.
Yes.
We want to learn something. Like Becca said, like you said, I would never have known about the cat thing and the cats being infamous and instable. Good to know, because Turkey was on my list and was past tense. Yes, right now at whatever time it is your time, it got bumped off. But this too, the Safi Islam dance, that's a beautiful story, and I would have loved to learn more about it.
I mean, all of Turkey truly is like this. Every single part of Turkey that you step in is steeped with history and really good food and sights and sounds and spices, spice shops everywhere. The aromatic stuff, because I think here, I'm not like a super food person, but our food here seems to be a lot more based on taste, and their food there, in my opinion, is a lot more based on aroma. So there's so much more aromatic spices that you buy in the stores and that you have with your food. I really enjoyed every day was something new, because it's literally the cradle of civilization. I think it's worth putting up with the cats. Ottoman Empire, Byzantine Empire, Constantinople, Holy Roman Empire. There's markers everywhere.
Dear Abby and dear Becca, I will have to get back to you. Okay, because Becca's like Rome, which is definitely on my list. Also has a lot of outdoor cats. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get back to you guys on that. But for now, yeah, no. So I love the kebab, and then the menemen, which was tomato and eggs. Yum, sounds delicious. In Ghana, eggs and tomato both are staples in our diet. So I just feel like that's something that I would probably absolutely enjoy. And I do love kebabs. So these two sitting and having this just very one-on-one quality time surrounded by history and culture. This is what I watch The Other Way before all the things for. I think that this is exactly what they need more of. And she meaning Lisa is looking at Birkin beer can. I had to phonetically write it down because to me it looks like Birkin bag, but I was corrected. Beer can. Beer can is looking elsewhere, and he then goes to tell her some of his deep, dark secrets. One is that he couldn't find a job while he was Istanbul. He has a lot of debt. He's jobless and he's broke. And this is for their segment, you guys. When she said, "How much is it?" That's how you know it's about to go wrong. It's about to go wrong. No woman, as far as I'm concerned, and what I think is important, should be, first of all, dating. When you say you're dating online, you guys already know how I feel about that. If you haven't met in person, then you're not really dating. So then you put in 6 months of online, quote unquote, dating. You pay for your trip. You pay for the hotel. You come down to meet your significant other, air quotes, who has no job, has a significant amount of debt, and is broke, and then you're saying how much? Because guess what? Are you taking that debt on for what is the prize in this situation? What are you getting out of this? Because it couldn't be me. I'm sorry, it could not be me. It's 50,000, and she's like, "Oh, that's not bad." Because in Turkish lira, that's about 1,500. He's like, "Yeah, no, in U.S. dollars." I was like, "Oh, doing what exactly? How do you have $50,000 in debt and you're 26 years old?" Abby, please explain it to me, because I was trying to think maybe it's from his old soccer career and his broken knee. Like, what?
I mean, I have over $100,000 in debt, but that's college loans, and I have
Yeah,
3 different
you're an attorney.
degrees, but
You're an
for
attorney.
him, yeah, for him to gather that much debt in US dollar, my concern is who the creditors are. Like, my next question, if I was even going that far, my next question would be, who do you owe this money to? Because if the creditors are also in the United States, then obviously that's going to affect any ability of us for us to have a future.
How does she not ask the
And
question?
maybe she does later. That would, I mean, like, maybe she's just shocked right this moment at the actual amount. But the next question, if she's truly trying to make this work out, needs to be, who are the creditors? And if the creditors are US creditors, meaning that that debt will exist when he comes to the United States, if he comes to the United States, why would you agree to take that on? Because that is a ridiculous amount of debt to accrue when you know that your income is lira.
And you don't have you don't have a higher education, you don't have a skill, like you're not a mechanic, you're not a carpenter, you there's nothing tangible that you're walking, at least from what I'm seeing right now in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
nothing tangible that you're walking away with. I'm trying to figure it out. And the fact that she doesn't ask him any more questions blows my mind. And then he says it's not a big deal. She feels betrayed because he wasn't, quote, forthright online. Again, girl, stop it. He wasn't forthright because you guys are online. You think it's a red flag now. You should have asked the appropriate questions, and you should not think that you're in this deep, deep relationship with someone you've never met in real life. They're not going to tell you all the things. So Beer Can doesn't care, though, because he feels like it's cool. He plans to leave the country and his debt's behind, because guess what? Just like Daniel, he's looking at Lisa. The 2 Lisas are green cards. Ching, ching. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, though, Abby, because you mentioned this quite a few times, he says he's not worried. It's not a big deal. He's waiting for the right time, and the right time was now because he plans to go to America, and that will be that. So he can leave this debt here. And you said something quite a few times, actually. You said, like, why do people want to and I'm paraphrasing, but why would people care about their debt if they're not going to be in the country that their debt exists? And I still, just because I have a banker mom, I know, especially in the Western countries, I don't know how it works in the rest around the world, but if you're in the West, you can be American and your debt will follow you to Canada. It's all, the banking systems are all intertwined.
Yeah.
That's why when you guys see, I don't know, I watch all the true crimes, but when you see people that are fleeing to Mexico, or they're fleeing to Toronto, and then they start using like their Canadian or their Mexican information, they get tracked because all that is intertwined. You might not be able to use it and per se in the way that, oh, I established credit in this country, so I think I'm going to have the same great credit. No, it doesn't happen that way. But they will track you and say, oh, you were trash. Oh, you owe so-and-so and so-and-so. That's what's going to follow you. So I just think it's interesting how people think, oh, I can just do whatever and I can peace out and call it a day.
I mean, when I blow this joint, meaning America, depending on which country I go to, I may or may not care about my debt. Listen, sitting right here in front of you now, I don't care about my debt. So, I had 1 year, you guys, when I first graduated from law school, I was paying $1,000 a month on my school debt. And then I did that for 5 years. And then I went to Mexico for 1 year. That 1 year, I deferred my payments for that year, came back to the US, and the interest on each one of my student loans compounded so much that it was like I didn't make those payments for the 5 years at all.
Oh my
And
gosh.
since that time, yeah, since that, like I've paid over what I borrowed already. And so since that time, I've been like, well, it is what it is. It just exists where it is. I don't care whether it gets paid back or not because I can't keep up with the interest on it. That's why I say I don't. That's why I say I'm sitting in front of you not caring about it right now. But depending on which country I go to when I blow this joint, I'll care less. Okay, especially if I know I'm not coming back. If I somehow think I'm going to reintegrate into life in the US, then I should care about it. But if I feel like I'm not coming back, I don't care even more. Then I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I do think that, I don't know. I just think that without getting political, I just think that the student loan system in the United States of America does not set up students for success. And if you are not
No.
already part of the 1%, then you're taking out student loans and they expect you to pay it over and over and over. And then you wonder why there's a lack of attorneys, there's a lack of doctors, there's a lack of engineers. Is because, you put all in, 10 years of schooling in, and then you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of a debt. And how are you? Anyways, don't get me started. So I get what you're saying. So Lisa's worried that Beer Can is going to burn through her money if and when he comes to America. And this is it. All I have to say is it says starred in my notes, green card and her money. Seems legit to me.
Yeah. Well, his inability to get a job. Okay, let's as if we're analyzing this for true purposes, right? His inability to get a job also says something about his personality and his ability to be like a go-getter. Like you couldn't find anything that you could do to make money to support yourself. Nothing. You couldn't go out and start coaching kids in soccer. You couldn't start some kind of online personality or clinic or something. Like your inability to be resourceful is something that will travel with you if you come to the US. You're not able to be resourceful in your home country, you won't be able to be resourceful in the US.
Yep, I agree. And the last part that was alarming to me was when he said that Lisa might be a little alarmed when she finds out what he did and does do to make money. Because then I was like, oh my God, is he a gigolo? But then, he just finished telling us that he hasn't had sex in 4 years. So I'm curious. And live chat, if you're watching the replay and you aren't ahead and you already know, guess or give us your guesses on what you think he does to make money. Abby, do you have any guesses?
I mean, I thought the same thing that you did along the lines of like, fetish content, maybe selling some feet pictures or something like that.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. But yes, he does something because he is unwilling to just freely share it at the moment. Anything else you want to add before I move on to Annalyn and Jovan?
Yeah, let's go on to dumb Jovan.
First of all, I would like to preface this. Abby's already laughing. She's like, oh, she's about to say something. First of all, I feel like Daniel and Jovan are not representative of Black men. That's it. That's my full statement. they are not representative of all Black men. And I feel like, although men in general can be problematic, I can only speak for, I can't even speak for Black men. I just think that they're not, I think that Daniel is not representative of African men. And I think Jovan is not representative of African American men. That's my, what do you think, Abby?
I mean, they're not good representations, but they are a representation, unfortunately, of a percentage of the population. You guys pop over to my TikTok. On my TikTok, I was answering a matchmaker who said that she didn't think that men who were 100% providers should also be required to do household work. My response to that was, that's not how I grew up. My dad, who was a 100% financial provider, also did household work, and I proceeded to give examples of the type of household work that he did. And in my comments, you will see a bunch of men frothing and rabid at the mouth at the idea that my dad would lower himself into doing housework. They are calling my mom lazy, saying that she didn't do anything. Why should my dad have had to provide and also do housework? No matter how I explained that it was a joy for him to be a father and a partner and to do certain things with us, his kids, that my mom depended on, and to help in the kitchen and to help in the garden and all these things, they refused to see that as partnership and instead decided to, some people just say, like, you know, some mean things, and some people even made digs like, well, that's why he's dead now. He worked into the grave. Like, the comments are horrible. So unfortunately, there are men like Jovan out there in the African American population, and I'm not talking about these are bots. I looked at the accounts that made these comments, who don't understand what partnership means, don't understand what fatherhood means. Luckily, I didn't grow up like that. I saw something different, but Jovan is unfortunately not a good representation, but not an outlier.
That sounds terrible. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, I just think Jovan is I just think he's so I just think he needs to work on himself. I think he, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of every man that has not worked on their own insecurities and wants to therefore dump all of that insecurity into the woman that he finds, and he expects that woman to build him up and support him and love him and not have opinions on anything. Just everything that he says is great, even if it's not great. Like, he's just that type. That's the type that I'm, if that makes sense. And I just think he needs time alone to find out who he is. Like, he's 38 years old, and you're already getting set in your ways, my friend, and your ways are wild, like just absolutely wild.
Right.
Anyways, he wakes up. He's happy to wake up to his wife. He finds it surreal. He talks about not getting much sleep and even waking up to her quote unquote morning breath. I got to tell you, these little microaggressions, you guys, is what I'm talking about, because he continually does this, and I just don't appreciate it, and I can spot it right away. And then he asks her because he's insecure, or was it good? And then she pauses, and because she pauses, she was pausing because she was going to ask the same question. He took it as an offense and turns to her and he's like, why are you pausing? Again, a microaggression, right? Because he needs to be fulfilled by her building him up constantly and all the time. They decide they're going to go for lunch, and Bicola is her hometown, which we knew from before. And what we learn about Bicola is that they do everything very spicy. That's part of their food and their culture. She's super excited to show Jovan her culture. She's taking him to a local eatery with authentic Bicola dishes, taro leaves, spicy food, chilies, even putting red chilies on ice cream. She's from there. That's what she wants to show him. She feels, and she's not wrong, that most American food is bland. And when Abby talks about the two Americas, I'm talking about the other America as well, because both Americas, some of us season and some of us don't.
Although, I was thinking about this as she was saying it, and she would probably find My America bland as well, because like we still don't use like peppers in that way, the way that she does. We don't use spice that way. Like our food, even our hot food, is going to have some kind of coolness to it, some warmth, some sweet, some carrot, like there's nothing that's just straight up. Like I'm thinking of New Orleans food as the most spicy food that I think you could find has US origins. That's not like completely foreign food. And even the spiciest of jambalaya is still going to have some warmth, to it, some sweetness to it.
Interesting. Okay. She wants to know if he can handle the heat. His face told me everything that I needed to know. It turned red, bright red, and he could not handle it. And then when they had the second dish, she called it, quote, level 2. And it was literally too hot for him. He said his mouth and his stomach was on fire. And he's hoping that the rest of the food was not going to be like this, as he's drinking his water and burning up. And I just said, LOL. And I guess my question of the day for you guys is, do you like spicy food? And what do you consider spicy? Let us know in the live chat, and then let us know in the replay as well. Pieces to 2026 says, yes, American food is bland. And Faziz, hey girl, hey, I know it's not the same level of spice, but I like spices and heat.
Yeah, tell us what your favorite spicy dish is if you're answering Linda's question. Not just do you like spice, but like what is the spiciest dish that you maybe eat on a regular basis, or that's your favorite? But even here, like Linda, going back to what you were saying earlier about his own insecurities, he's even pretending manhood here. Like in this moment that they're having their lunch, he doesn't want to say, oh, it's too spicy because I'm a man and I don't want to take away from my masculinity. Like instead of just allowing himself to like a thing or not like a thing, enjoy a thing or not enjoy a thing, he's filtering it through the lens of, well, what would impress other men? What would be masculine?
Yeah.
Loser behavior.
Annalyn goes on to say that, Bicola is known for its spicy food, and the food's not just hot, they're hot, which I thought was a cute little play on words. And she's like, and you found out last night. And because we're so spicy, it could be one night and it's bullseye. And I was like, what is she talking about? Then I realized she's talking about getting pregnant on the first time being together, and come to find out that they agreed when they never met before, and they've been on this online relationship for 6 years and married online in a Zoom for 3 years. They decided that it'd be a good idea that they get pregnant immediately, because she says she's almost 40. She's always wanted to have a kid. So they're going to have a kid together. You know how asinine that sounds to me? But
I was instantly irritated. Let me tell you why I'm instantly irritated. Because people come to me after they do this dumb shit, get pregnant on, a holiday. And they're like, I can't be separated from my partner. You have to get them to the United States. Pregnancy is not considered a medical emergency that allows you to expedite your immigration applications. It's not. It never will be, nor will pregnancy complications. So when you do this dumb shit and get married or, whatever, have a fiance that gets pregnant out of the country and you want them to be able to hurry up and come to the US, you're complicating your life unnecessarily. Now the baby's born right before the interview's scheduled. We got to get paperwork on that baby done too. It's just it's idiocracy. I can't stand when people come to me and do this and want me to fix the dumb things that they've done.
Yeah. I will throw in, and why are you all in 2026 having unprotected sex with people you literally just met? I don't care if you've been dating online. I don't care if you've been married to this person for 6 years online. You don't know this fool. You don't know him. But all of y'all are just like, hey, I'm just going to jump right in. Did you guys even have a discussion about your previous partners and what that looks like? Did you even have a conversation about, like, are you like clean? Are we going to go and get tested and make sure we're all on the same page? No, you're just going to jump in? So when Abby talks about dumb shit, I don't like dumb shit. You guys are too grown to be doing dumb shit. Stop it.
Like, how are you going to be dumber than Paul? Because at least Paul of Paul and Karina, you guys, at least he was like, hey, let's go get some testing done before we're intimate together. Don't be dumber than Paul.
Now, if that is not something that should be cut and replayed and replayed and replayed, I don't know what is. I'm going to jump into the live chat. Pisa says, I love Jamaican jerk chicken. Silver Lining, Tay Girl Hey, she said, I almost died eating a potato from a boil-in New Orleans. It was a family event, but even they said it was, quote, a little hot. Becca says, I love Thai food, but always get Thai iced tea, so I have something to cool down my tongue. So yeah, thank you for sharing, everybody. Did I get Faisy? Faisy says, spicy dishes depending on what I'm eating, but I like eating raw jalapenos. Love that.
Wow.
Love that.
Raw jalapenos. You could probably be on like that show about addictions.
What show?
Eating raw jalapenos. You know that show where people eat like glass or baking soda? My Strange Addiction. That's what it's called.
I don't see what's wrong with eating raw jalapenos. You put a little raw jalapeno on your salads. And even you guys, if you could, you like shave the jalapeno on some vanilla ice cream, it will change your life.
That's interesting.
Jovan says, okay, if you're pregnant, don't worry. I will figure out a way that I can get here and I'll be with you. And basically we'll raise the kid together. Annalyn looks at that as a slight to her. So if you had a kid, you can get here, but it took you 6 years to get here just for me. Like, make that make sense. Do you love this fictionary kid more than me? Why did it take you so long to visit me here in the Philippines? And listen, that is absolutely a valid question. It's valid. Either you're saying this just to say it, and she's going to be a single parent and you're going to come every 6 years and think that that's okay, or there's something wrong. Like, where's the disconnect? I thought she was valid in saying that.
Yeah, and it would only get worse, honestly, if they had a kid, because he's already complaining about the money that he sends you now.
Oh, we're going to talk about that shortly because that pissed me off. Blue Panda says that they like Nigerian food. Nigerian food, yes. If we were talking about Nigerian versus jollof, Guinean jollof, then I'm going to have to let you know that although Nigerian jollof is amazing, if you've not tried Guinean jollof, what are you doing with your life? She says all that. He takes offense to it and says, he feels like she's looking for problems all the time. And I'm shaking my head because, again, she's asking questions. These are her concerns. She wants to know where things are standing in the relationship. But every time she voices a concern, you hear it as a complaint and you don't want her to be able to voice her opinion. That is very scary, you guys. Like, that's the biggest red flag ever, as far as I'm concerned. If your partner does not want you to talk, and every time you say something, he is taking offense to it, you really need to sit up and pay attention to that, because it's not a good look.
Right.
They get back to, this is the other thing. So for their for their segment, there's a lot of SMH in my notes. So I'll try not to continue to say SMH, but SMH. So he's traveled across the world to see his alleged wife, and he's only been there overnight. Now I get travel, I get international travel. You got to suck it up because you're not there forever. So you just got to suck up that time zone difference and keep it pushing. But he wants to sleep. He wants to take a nap. He wants to rest. She wants to go and get massages. And he doesn't really want to go. He just wants to sleep. And I just was like, oh, you really are showing who you are. This is supposed to also be your honeymoon. So you want to sleep on the second day of your quote unquote honeymoon? Like, gross on you. But he ends up agreeing to go for massages. And then as he's going, he's complaining how it's hard to navigate the marriage challenges. Navigating marriage is challenging, is what he says. And I was like, it's literally not even been 2 days. What are you navigating exactly? Explain that to me. You're having problems on the second day of your marriage? Because I'm not, the 6 years online, I'm counting 0.0 days of that. Because you really did nothing. All you had to do is get online, do a couple of FaceTimes, send her money, and that's it. So and even then, you guys couldn't get along. So navigating marriage is difficult. Well, what do you think marriage was? Marriage is go ahead.
He is complaining about having a partner that has feelings and opinions that are different from his own. That's what he's complaining about.
That's what he's complaining about. And so the other thing, he said he doesn't like massages. I don't trust any man that says he doesn't like massages. I just don't trust it. That's it. That's my note. So they go for massages. He finds out that she goes for massages a lot. She says it relaxes her. She talks about insomnia, all of this stuff. And then he takes it personally because he says that he sends her up to $600 a month. And he believes in men providing financially for women. But in that same breath, he says that women should also just be the nurturers in the relationship. And he feels the money he's sending her, he's starting to resent her because is this her vacation fund? Because she gets massages all the time. She should budget more, in his words, so that he can send her less money. Now, I want you guys to just unpack all of what he's saying. Okay? He's acting like sending up to five. Okay, so let me preface this. I understand that the American dollar in the Philippines runs wild and runs long. I get that. And it's in most third world countries, your American dollars are going to stretch. The part that I don't appreciate is that he's acting like he's sending her thousands of American dollars. It's like between $300 and $600 a month that he's sending her. And now he's also showing the control part of it, where he feels like it's still his money. He is providing for her, but now he wants to monitor how she spends it. And by the way, make sure you don't talk. Make sure you don't have opinion. Make sure you're nurturing all of my needs, because all of this $600, that's what it's for. It's not because I care about you and I want to provide for you. It is, I'm investing in what I think is my property and what I think that you need to be doing for me, period, full stop. Do you want to add anything, Abby?
I will take it a little bit further. Jovan measures himself by the patriarchy, by the masculine male provider persona. But at the same time, he's resentful of the fact that he's measured by that, by himself and by other people. So he's sending the money in order to say, I'm the man, I'm the provider. But at the same time, he is resentful of his participation in that. All of that is happening within himself. And everything that comes out of his mouth is a projection onto Anna of this disjointment that he has so 100% within himself. And he's not going to be able to have a successful, happy relationship with anyone so long as he's unable to resolve these things in himself.
100%. And just to jump off of what Abby's saying or continue what we've both been saying, he tells her that he thinks that she oversteps and brings up the last argument they had and how she called his sister and was complaining about him. He thought that that was overstepping a bit too much and called her quote unquote unhinged. And she was like, well, I felt like I was going to family. At least when I'm upset with you, I go to family. You literally went to a whole other woman when you were upset with me. And if that does not summarize what I've been saying, what Abby's been saying, it's insert any woman who can stroke his ego and validate who he thinks he is as a man. That's it. That's all he cares about. Don't you dare have an opinion, and don't you dare slander me or remind my family of the trash individual that I am. How dare you? How dare you tell them about myself?
Mm-hmm.
Then, oh God. And then the other part that just was really disgusting to me, then she's like, I'm done with this conversation. Like, I'm done with this massage. I'm done with this conversation. And then he tries to blame her and says that she doesn't take accountability for her actions. Stop it, Javon. Stop it. Just stop it. Do you want to add anything else before I move on?
No. We're ready to go.
Emma and Ziad.
Ugh.
I just don't understand why are we wasting time? You guys are 27. Go and explore Morocco. Go pop off and explore some other cities while you're in Northern Africa. Like, just do some other things. This no. And especially after this segment, just no. She's getting ready, and I'm gonna zip through some of this because I just was like, there's a lot wrong with her. So she's getting ready. He says to her, why does it take you so long? And why do you need all this makeup? We're going to be late to meet my friends. They're meeting his friends for like coffee intro. Emma feels like it's progress. They get there. They do quick introductions. She sits down. The first thing she does is she's like compact out and putting on lipstick. Meanwhile, his friends are already judging her, right? So all eyes are on her. And she asks, has he talked about me? Yes. He's told them about her. And they ask the first question, why did you choose Ziad? She responds by saying, he's sweet, he's kind. The first 10 minutes, he was calling me his wife. I love that. There was an instant connection. And they really didn't like that answer at all. And I think they were speaking Arabic, but I'm not sure what language it was. But I'm going to say Arabic. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me. In Arabic, they ask Ziad, did you give her a tour of Marrakesh and how conservative it is there? And here was the perfect editing, you guys, because as they were having this conversation in Arabic, the cameraman zoomed in on Emma, who again had her compact out and was putting on more makeup. Okay. I was like, savage. Y'all are savage. And so his friends are concerned about how in some conservative areas in Morocco, how people would perceive her. Now, Ziad is a liar. He's been a liar since day one. He told her all the things on the phone to somehow get her to come to Morocco, right? She said, I asked you and I asked all the questions. Can I wear whatever I want? You said yes. Can we kiss in public? You said yes. Can we be affectionate in public? You said yes. Anything I asked, anything she asked, anything that was asked, he said yes. And then as soon as she stepped down, 10 toes deep, it was a totally different situation. No. Okay. And then comes to this same thing. So he says, no, I didn't say that. I said, oh, in certain places it wouldn't matter. Liar. Friends say, oh, it must just be a misunderstanding. She's like, no, he lied. He's a liar. And then he says, no, but you're a liar. And this is where, again, this whole I'm going to switch it up and try to blame the woman pisses me off, because no, Ziad, you've been lying. You've been lying. You've been telling her all the yes, yes, yes. So she thinks she can be who she is. She packed and dressed and paid for everything because of what you were telling her. She gets there and all of a sudden you're switching up the game. And now you're calling her a liar because your feelings are hurt because you found out that she was breaking up with her ex-boyfriend, and now you're making it seem like she was a cheater. And so you said that she lies. Then you go on, and this is a blew my mind. Okay. I do also hate this. I do hate when I'm talking and someone interrupts my thought. So I do hate that. And she does that a lot with him, but she does it because he gaslights her. And it's hard for her to hold her mouth closed because she knows she's being gaslit. So he's gaslighting. She's like, but no. So he calls it disrespectful because she interrupts him when he talks. And he's like, I'm making an effort to find the right English words. English is not my first language. And when you stop me, it makes me forget what I was trying to get out there. That's a valid point. But don't forget your part in it, Ziad. Your part in it is you gaslight her all the time.
Right. You're trying to find the right English words to lie more.
And if you were having a regular conversation, I bet she'd be listening because she wants to hear what you say and she wants to get to know you. But when you're gaslighting her, yeah, it's going to be hard for her to not say anything back to you. That being said, he tells his friends that she was in a relationship, and meanwhile, she was breaking up. She was in the midst of a breakup when she started talking to him, and he's like, so she's a liar. So they were like, oh, you were with someone when you were talking to Zia? And she's like, no, I was in the midst of a breakup. If anyone's a liar, it's him, because he's on dating apps, talking to other girls, messing to other girls, telling other girls, come to Morocco. And then he had the audacity to say, well, it's because I'm proud of my country and we are welcoming them. So she says, well, how would you feel if I was on a dating app and I kept saying to men on the dating app, come to LA, come to LA, come to LA? And he's like, well, no, because we are a welcoming country. No, shut up. Just stop it. Stop it, because you got played at your own gaslighting game because she threw what you said right back at you, and now you're mad about it. The friends ask Emma, what is it that you want out of this relationship? And she's like, she wants to be engaged before the end of the trip. And his friend that was sitting beside her, that was most like, he was not talking. He was just absorbing, which I think is interesting because even though I talk a lot, I am that person. I will absorb and hear, because when you really listen to people, you really hear what they're saying. So I would have probably been that friend that just was like listening. And then when the time is right, he was like in Arabic, he was like, do you think that she is the right fit for a wife and family and kids? And here's where this should have been the last friggin' segment of these two. This should have been the last segment, y'all. I should not see these two ever again, except for them going traveling on their merry ways. Ziad said in Arabic, 0.0%. So when Emma's like, I'm sorry, what's 0%? And then the other friend says, oh, they were asking, you know, are you marriage material? Does he see you as a wife? And then she said, oh, you see 0.0%? The end. What, Abby, what are we waiting on?
Right. Go ahead, reserve your own place to stay. Enjoy the rest of your time in Morocco. Go home.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get why she is persisted through all this. But anyway, moving forward.
Do you want to add anything to this?
Have nothing to add.
Okay. We're going on to Rick and Trisha. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I said Daniel and Jovan, but I also want to include Rick in my earlier thoughts. Because no, absolutely not. My first note says Trisha is so pretty. I love everything about her. I think she's a beautiful woman. Rick hasn't told her about Columbia yet, but he is another person who I think is super insecure, and he's actually said how he's insecure as well, so I'm not wrong about that. And he's putting on his insecurities onto Trisha, which I absolutely don't appreciate, because, you know, he's 52 years old, he's grown, he should already figure it out for himself and not put it on this poor 25-year-old. The other thing that I've talked about a lot in the past, and I want to bring up right now as well, one of the ways that you know someone has cheated on you is how they treat you. And when they start to become super jealous or angry, extra angry, and you know you haven't done anything, it's because they're projecting. And even the producer in this segment, which we'll talk about shortly, said the same thing. But I just want you guys to know that you're not crazy. When someone is cheating on you, you're A, going to feel it in your gut, women, and B, when he's starting to get a little extra snarky, a little extra jealous, a little extra clingy, I need you to, instead of looking into yourself and being like, oh, what I'm doing, look outwards. Look outwards. That fool is cheating on you. And you are probably ignoring it because you don't want to believe it. But I encourage you, be that woman. I can never listen. If someone's cheating on me, I've been cheated on, and I will be the first to leave. But I'm quick to leave nonsense because I'm grown. I'd rather be single and happy than in a relationship just to say I'm in a relationship when there's some bullshit happening. We're too grown. Life is too short to be dealing with nonsense. That's how I see it, period, full stop. So if you're being cheated on and you think you're being cheated on, then go ahead and be that person and, you know, look in his phone, do what you got to do, put that tracker on, do all the true crime stuff and figure it out for yourself. But here's the thing. Don't do it if you're not willing to actually face it, right? Because what happens is then you know, and I'm not saying, because some people can be cheated on and they can go to therapy and work it out and get past it. And I've talked about that as well. If that's you, great on it. But remember, you have to actually be past it. You can't continue to bring it up. Yep. Right? It's up to you. That being said, pay attention, y'all. Your gut is going to tell you, and their actions are going to tell you a whole lot. So, oh God, do I have to talk about this? I'm going to fly by this too. So he brought this disgusting $50 black garbage bag because he is cheap as well. And he was calling it a splash pad, and I'll just leave it at that. She thinks it's disgusting, and she kicks it and shakes her head. And he, instead of being like, yeah, that was probably a stupid idea, he's like, oh, but it was expensive. It was like $50. Oh gosh. She thinks it's stupid. I think he's stupid. And he bought it. I just think he's stupid. He bought it because he was worried about paying extra. Just like Jovan was worried about the slippers coming with the room. He was worried about having to pay for the sheets. Like, ew. 30 minutes later, they're in a fight because one of her ex-boyfriends dropped off her broken motorcycle. If you guys remember the storyline with the motorcycle and her ex breaking it and all the things. So now it's repaired. Friend drops it off. But Rick freaks out because who is this guy? Why is he bringing it to the hotel? Rick is getting jealous. He's like, oh, you're still talking to your ex. 4 months ago, you didn't tell me. Why haven't you told me? Why was it a secret? And she's like, well, because it was not important. It wasn't a secret. I just didn't think it was important. And then he's like, well, something more must have happened because you didn't tell me. He's freaking out because he cheated on her. Those 5 days that she went silent, he was in Colombia cheating on her. And now he's projecting his guilt, which he hasn't told her yet, on her and trying to make her the villain. No, fool, you're the villain in the story. You, Rick, are the villain in the story. And then even the producer said, why do you think your mind first goes to cheating? And then my answer is because he's a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
And then the producer says, do you feel like maybe you're projecting? And then Rick says, it's possible. And then the producer said, would you feel better if she cheated because you did? And yes, see? Everything I'm telling you. He feels guilty. He wants her to feel guilty for something she hasn't done. He would prefer that she cheated so that he can blame her and then be like justified. Well, I only cheated because you cheated. You see how that whole thing is going down? Abby, do you want to add anything before I move forward with this? Oh, maybe not. I will continue on. We lost her. I'm sure she'll be back. Oh. Okay. Do you want to add something to that, Abby?
No, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. He's just projecting because he's a loser and he's a cheater. And I want to make sure that we keep the timeline straight. When he went to Colombia, she was back in contact with him. She went silent for 5 days. And during that time, he arranged travel to Colombia. She was back in contact with him, and then he flew to Colombia. So I just want to be clear about how much of a douche he is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They go out for dinner. Love the fact. I wish they would have talked a little bit more about it, but they did street food for dinner, so they were doing like kebabs and shrimp and chicken and all of that. I wish they would have told us like the names in Madagascar because that would have been cool, but they didn't. Rick feels confused and irritated, and it's because he's insecure, and that's all it is. And he is projecting his insecurities on her. And then she just comes clean with him. She's like, yeah, my ex wants me back. That's why I didn't tell you. She said that she said no, and that she explained to her ex that she already has someone, meaning him. And it wasn't enough for Rick. Rick wanted to see her phone and her messages. So she shows him and says, do you believe me now? Because she shows how the ex was messaging and calling, and it was all missed calls and all non-return texts. And he's like, yeah, I guess I see the dates. I guess I'm going to have to believe you. Now, one of the things that I do love about Trisha is that all the things I just told you, she's starting to feel them and she verbalized them. And she's like, he's only acting like this if he's hiding something. So what if he's hiding something? Because I feel like something's going on. Because he would only be acting this way if something was going on. And I was like, keep that energy, Trisha. Keep that energy. All right. So if you have nothing else to add, then I'm going to move on to Aviva and Stig.
Yes, Aviva and Stig, I have some feelings and opinions.
Okay. Oh, God. These two.
I have to turn my ringer off so it won't go off again.
Okay, so Aviva and Stig wake up in the morning. These two again, or another couple that decided that they're going to have unprotected sex. You all don't know each other. That's on you. Just make wiser decisions, women. It's your choice, your body, your choice. But I would just be wise in 2026. I love you, babe. And your booty is showing, popping. Again, they use no protection. So I was just stuck on that part. Aviva feels like because they were intimate, she feels closer to him, and they hope to have made a baby last night because they are trying to have a baby. She thinks that Stig would make a great father. I'm just
Based on what?
That part. I'm not gonna, like, I don't know. And none of my friends are like this. What facts do you have? Is it because you talked to him online? Like, you just met him. You know, you don't even know where he lives.
Girl, what is a father? What is a father to you? So that I can understand what makes you think that someone that you have not met in real life would be a good father. Like, what? How are you evaluating what a father is?
That part, I don't get it. Because, again, you don't know him. So they're going to go to the studio. He wants to show her what he does for a living. He also wants her to meet his boys. They get to the Reef, which is the studio, and we meet again Perf and Richie. He introduces Aviva, the love of his life, and gets into the studio, and he does a song. And when I say, okay, so this song was trash. It was trash. He said it was inspired by Aviva and the sex that they had the night before. The song literally was, the sex was good. I want to breed you. You love me as you should. Yada, 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 yada. Now, the song was whack, and I will share this story with you because it's a true story, and Abby knows the story. I literally stopped dating someone because their music was whack. You cannot. I did, I know. But you know what? Ask Abby. Abby couldn't take it either. Abby was like, what is this that you sent me? It's true. It's true. Abby couldn't listen to it for 5 minutes before she was like, what is this? Yeah, no. And so, Stig, if that's your best work, you know what? Get a day job, because this is not. This song was terrible. Terrible. Friend, the producer friend, who's working the soundboard, who's also looks like he's like a little bit of a manager to Stig, tells Aviva that Stig is a handful. He's made a lot of mistakes in the past, and he wouldn't want to see those mistakes repeated. And then brings up Stig's ex from Texas and how much she damaged his career. And he's basically saying all this because he's thinking that he is advising Aviva that he wants no drama because they have things to do, music to produce, and to elevate this guy's career. But what he has also done is spilled information that was not his information to share. And I don't appreciate that. And if you have friends like this, like, why bother having enemies? Because none of that stuff was to better this brand new relationship. It was, hey, he's terrible. Do you know how terrible he is? And do you know how much drama he has? And if it was up to me, he said, I don't think he's fully over of his ex in Texas. To me, you're sabotaging that relationship before it even gets off the feet, because now Aviva, who's only been here for 2 days, is completely on guard and feeling insecure and realizing that, guess what? I probably should not have had unprotected sex with this person I don't know, because I just found out about a bunch of information from his friend. I didn't know any of that stuff. Do you see women how, like, let's be smarter with our minds and our bodies and our souls? Abby, do you want to add anything?
I think it was 100% his goal. I don't think that was accidental in any way, shape, or form. I think it's 100% his goal to destroy this relationship. I don't think that he sees it as beneficial, and perhaps he even sees as Aviva getting hurt in it, and he's like, let me just hasten this along.
It was terrible. So they're on their way to San Pedro for a couple of days for a show that he's doing, and I just hope that his music sounds better than what I heard, because Lord, that was not it. They're standing in line. She's upset. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's just like, "I've learned a lot." She's worried that he's not being 100% honest, because he's not, right? He's not. And I'm going to tell you, you guys really pay attention to what people say, because their words will tell you everything you need to know. So Stig says he's big on communication and tells her that she's acting like a child because he feels like she's giving him the silent treatment. She thinks she's just not saying anything because she doesn't want to wreck the energy in the first week. Now, that is so very feminine of us. We always want to like make sure that we're pleasing anyone and we don't want to upset anyone. No. Go ahead and get your feelings out. Communicate. And if they don't like it, that's, oh, well, that will show you exactly what you need. That will show you.
Mm-hmm.
He's so quote unquote big on communicating, then he's not going to worry about communicating.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, she goes and says, I just learned that you were trying to have a baby with your ex, and you said the exact same thing to me just today and just yesterday. So, like, what is it? And he is honest in this moment. He says, well, I can't deny that. It's true. So, I don't know what you all are taking out of it, but I'm taking out of it that any woman he's with, he's not having protected sex, and he doesn't care if he has a bunch of babies and a bunch of baby mamas. So again, why are you adding yourself to the? Okay, I mean, that's all I need to say.
Don't add yourself to that potential number. And the other thing I want to say about Aviva and this notion of being quiet and being pleasant is that it doesn't serve you at work or in your personal relationships to allow someone to run over you. It's not like, oh, they'll pay you back on the end for what you endured.
At all. So, he explains that he was with his ex from Texas for 1.5 years. They were on and off. They were planning a future together. And then she broke his heart. Now, here's the thing. Aviva asked him a direct question, and I really need you guys to pay attention to this, because she's asked him a lot of direct questions. And for this question, are you over her? He doesn't answer. She asked, when you went to Texas a few months ago, you didn't invite me. Did you see her, the ex? He says, I went for Belize Day. I was performing. I was only there for 2 days. I didn't see family. It's not like that. Again, my note says no answer. So do you see, he's trying to ask the pertinent questions and he's dilly-dallying. He's not lying per se, but he's not answering the questions so that you can come back and say, well, you told me. He'll say, no, I never said that, because I didn't say anything. He said, I didn't get to see my family. I didn't tell you I didn't go to see my ex. When you asked me if I'm over her, I didn't tell you I was not over her. I just didn't answer. Do you see? That's all manipulation. It's manipulation. That's why it's very important to pay attention, because you think you might have had the answer, but when they misdirect and redirect you, that's an answer in and of itself. And manipulators do that on a regular basis.
Right. And when you're dealing with somebody like that, I don't really think it's beneficial to pull teeth from them either. I think this is just a situation where you can't force this person to have mature communication. You can point out you haven't answered the question, but unless you want to repeat that kind of questioning over and over again for the rest of your lives together, this is just who they are. They're deceitful, and you should just move on to the next person or be alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's just not worth it, you guys. But again, that's just my take on it. It's not worth it. You don't need that. You don't need to be manipulated and gaslit. It's not worth it. Okay, are you adding anything else?
Nope.
Okay,
That's
moving
it.
on. Last couple, Forrest and Sheena. They're
Yes.
meeting family today for the blessing and to move forward and to get married and all the things. He makes some weird jokes that I've decided that I'm just not going to even bother. Just the banana hammock. I'll leave you guys with that. Forrest is really wanting to talk about how Sheena gives all her money to them all the time, as well as he feels that they mistreat her. So those are the things that he wants to talk about after he makes a good impression with them. Molly's upset because she's not going to be there for the first day. She's going to come the second day. And even in the conversation with her son and Sheena being right there, Molly's like, I can't believe it. I feel hurt. I feel mad. And Forrest is basically like, even if you're coming the second day, I hope you don't blow it for us because you do have a bad temper and I don't want you to wreck this. Her parents live in Cavite, which is 2 hours from Manila. They have to take a bus and then a tricycle to get there. And I died of laughter, Abby, when they said that they're going to arrange a car for Molly and Deb. They wouldn't be able to figure out the bus system. And I died of laughter because that is 100% true. We've seen Molly could barely get off a plane without her passport, and she could barely pull her luggage without it being a mess and it falling. So yeah, I would actually love a whole episode dedicated to them trying to get there on the transit system, because that would be a riot.
They wouldn't arrive.
They wouldn't arrive. They're getting to the bus station. Forrest's worried about her parents accepting him, and Sheena gives the legit questions, because don't forget, she's a professional, you guys. She's a vet. She's got her schooling. She is providing for not only herself, but for her family, and dare I say, for Forrest's family as well. She's paying for this whole thing, you guys. And so when Forrest talks about being worried about being accepted, she's like, yeah, the first thing they're going to want to know is, what's your purpose for being here? And second, what's your career? How are you going to provide for my daughter? And then this is when we hear about Forrest and who Forrest is. So Forrest is on disability because he can't focus or do tasks, and no job. He hasn't had a job in several years. And he collects disability checks because any job he gets, because he can't focus, they don't want to continue to tell him to do the same thing over and over again. So he just doesn't work. And so he's on these disability checks. So it's been on her to save for their future. And his words were, it's been on her to save for our future. Now, she says to him, you have to be a man, Forrest. You're an adult. You can find a job. And she is starting that, you guys, I could feel it for her. The resentment is bubbling up in her. So yes, she wants to be loved. Yes, she wants to be nurtured. Yes, she wants to be with the person that's going to be her forever. But what she also didn't sign up for is she didn't sign up to now take on the financial responsibilities of a whole other family. She's like, I've
Mm-hmm.
done my part. I've went to school. I've gotten my education. I'm in my career. Culturally, she has to take care of her parents. And even that is a lot for her. She's starting to feel overwhelmed because now her boyfriend is expecting her to save for their future. So she's now taking on another bill that she didn't sign up for because he's a full grown man. Why do you not work? Why are you on
Right.
you're on disability, and your disability goes to what? Why do you not work? She's like, you are a man. You're an adult. You can find a job. But he's used to not working. He's used to being on disability. And Abby said something yesterday about they're probably because how do you survive on disability is what I said, because it's like what $967 I think Abby said yesterday. How do you survive on that a month? And then Abby explained how there's a bunch of US government programs that he's probably on, and he's probably settled into that lifestyle. So he probably doesn't feel motivated
Mm-hmm.
to do anything because this is what he knows. And now he met a woman that makes money, and now he wants her to literally save for their future. Stop it. She's frustrated with Forrest for not working and for his finances. She's worried about what her parents are going to think about him because she's already feeling pressure from the family. Now there's pressure from the boyfriend. There's also pressure from Molly, the mom, because, you know, mom's on disability too. And the mom is acting like she's getting scammed because she's not getting, she meaning Molly and Forrest and Deb is not getting Sheena's money. Sheena, who's supposed to be saving for their future. Stop it, you guys. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. P says, that part, Linda. Forrest wants to cash in on her money. And then agreed. I think Forrest and his mama are the scammers in this case, 100%. You're going to freak out and try to belittle Sheena over how she spends her money. You better get out of here. You
Right.
don't make me curse at you, Molly.
Right.
What do you want to add?
Yeah, because I was wondering what the scam was exactly. And I feel like now it's become crystal clear. They're planning on having Sheena come, and maybe they haven't considered the time it'll take for her to be able to work as a veterinarian in the United States, but having her high income to be able to cover for all the programs that he'll lose access to based on being married and, you know, the household income. You know, he wouldn't qualify for all those programs that he has anymore, most likely. And so that's what they're looking for.
How does it work, Abby? Because I don't think, I mean, I guess between, well, you said, what was it, 15,000 for the year to be a sponsor?
Yeah, that's the lowest one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so technically he's almost there.
Technically, he could sponsor her, but then once she comes and once she's able to work, he most likely wouldn't be able to recertify, for example, food stamps and Medicaid, right? So he needs an income that's high enough. Okay, so here's what's happening in my head. If he was to go out and get a job, let's say that he went to like a local fast food place, he would probably make around the same amount as what he gets in social services benefits. So for him, why work and get the same amount if I could just stay home and get my disability and get my food stamps and anything else that he gets, you know, in his estate, right? Why should I work and break even, right? But if I have a high income wife who pulls me out of that lower bracket, then it doesn't hurt so much to give up my social services that I'm currently receiving. That's the scam. Now I know why Molly was in that group looking for a partner for her son.
Sheena, girl, don't come to America. Girl, don't come to America, girl. Girl, You're in danger, girl.
You're in,
Danger.
and I understand that you really like him. It looks like you guys genuinely like each other. You're established. He's not. Why should you have to move towards the non-established person? He should have to move towards you. You're established.
That part. And if you're gonna support him, then it's gonna be much cheaper in the Philippines. It's gonna be much cheaper. So go ahead and have him come to you, because he ain't got nothing to lose, because he's not doing anything. He's not established, like Abby said, not established. Not only not established, he's not doing anything. This fool doesn't. No. That's it. No.
Yeah. Because in the meantime, like it would be different if he was taking up some kind of trade or if he was doing something to work on his ADHD issues or whatever other health issues he had to qualify. It would be different. He was finding a way to work through that, but he's not.
Yeah. No, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. That's it. That's all I got. Do you want to add anything else to this episode?
This is a really good example of love simply is not enough. Love is not enough. You got to have Linda's 6 because she changed it to 6 if you weren't here. Not 5 anymore. It's 6. Love is not enough.
Love is not enough. And you guys, like, why are you going for these low vibrationals? Like, it's just no, especially when you're good high vibes. Not on International Women's Day. Let's think about it. Can we please think about how amazing we are as women and how much we do and how much we accomplish for pennies on the dollar? Please don't add a scrub to your life just to say that you have a scrub. Love is not enough. Low vibes, take a trip instead of, Mr. I don't got a job and I need you to save to support for our future. Don't settle for that on International Women's Day or any day, period, full stop. That's it. Thank you guys for being here and for catching up with us. We are going to continue to catch up next week. Don't forget to like and share and tell a friend and bring a friend and all the things. And happy International Women's Day and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye. TGFN. T-I double girl.